when I first turned 21, because that's when I legally drank.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So, so Sam Adams was my gateway into the craft beer community.
Alright guys, welcome to another week of Drunk in Public. I'm your host, Victor Santana. Bringing people together one beer at a time, one community at a time. And I'm over here with my man Ed. We had a bottle share a few weeks ago. He's from Massachusetts.
I am.
And you traveled all over DFW this week.
I think I know Texas a lot better now.
Yeah, a little bit. So you really fell in love with Austin.
Austin was awesome.
Nice.
Houston was nice, but Austin I thought was just that touch nicer, and I went out to Jester King. That was pretty much a holy ground.
I've seen a lot of pictures. They got a beautiful facility.
Beautiful place. Make it your bucket list if you have never been there.
I haven't been there, no. See, for me, as people who watch the podcast know, I'm not a big fan of Austin. Not the beers. The beers are great. Mm-hmm. It's more just the city itself. I'm not a big fan of. But I do want to make more trips down there because my biggest argument, which we talked about a little bit earlier, I think DFW has the better craft beer community, in my opinion, than anywhere else. Mm-hmm. But that's why I want to get you on the podcast for several reasons. But the number one reason was what you thought about it.
Yeah, no. So I really love Deep Ellum. Love Celestial.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that place is phenomenal.
Brain Dead kills it for me, and I love walking in there, all the art, the eclectic scenery, the old refrigerators with the tap handles in them. You gotta love that.
No, it's beautiful.
So, and then I didn't get too much of an opportunity to check out too much in Houston because I was kind of in and out, but I did get the B52. I don't think that's Houston. I think that's probably just outside of Houston.
Yeah,
but
it's still considered Houston.
Is it?
Yeah, like city, a little bit outside of the DFW area, people will still claim it as that, close to us.
Okay. B52 was the shit. I wanted to get the Spindle Tap, but they weren't going to be open, and I had to get
I think
going.
Ingenious is one I really like out there.
So the three were B52, Ingenious, and then Spindle Tap, but they were closed by the time I got down there, except for B52. So
I know you were running a little late on what was that, Thursday?
Yeah. The
sucks.
golf tournament went a little longer.
It happens. So how was the golf tournament?
Golf tournament was great. Probably about 35 people or so. Raising money for the Eric Leaf was fun. It was all good.
And we're going to talk about that. So we're going to bookmark that part right now. We're going to talk about that. So I definitely want to support that and get a link out there so people could donate.
Absolutely.
I know we supported Turning Point. One of their brewers here got sick, Crohn's disease. I believe Crohn's disease, if I'm mistaken. I will correct myself on the video and audio. But he got sick, and the whole beer community came and rallied behind it, donated, had beer events for him to raise money and his family.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, man. So I want to continue that trend. The story is phenomenal. Yeah,
it's you guys. I just came down here to meet some people. You guys turned it into a bottle share and a money-raising thing.
Yeah,
so I think
that's next to your man, Colin. He took the reins on that. I just wish that we just had like another week involved because there was a few of the bottle shares that kind of took away from it.
Yeah.
Because usually people organize bottle shares, the bigger ones, so more people show up. There's always little ones in town, but
again, I was just happy people show up because for me, it's just meeting you people. I'm tucked in my own little world up in New England, so
it's not that little.
Well, little Concordia, Texas size. I mean, I think you can fit most of New England inside Texas. So
most of the DFW area.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was just nice to meet all you guys, especially Connor and Sam. I met Sam once before up in California.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so any chance I can meet some beer people, especially that aren't close to me, that's always a good day to me.
Look, Colin Bjorman speaks highly about you. So his beer journey is opposite of my beer journey. Mm-hmm. So my beer journey was more hyper local and how I grew into learning craft beer. He liked craft beer and learned out of state, which he met you and he speaks highly about you. And then grew.
I broke his beer trade in Cherry, I guess.
Yeah.
I was his first trade.
And he said you were the best. You're the best.
If I'm going to send people beer, I want to make sure you get the best experience of New England. So I'm going to throw whatever I can in there that's going to tease your palate. Definitely going to throw Treehouse. Could be some Trillium. And I'll find just random other things that I think are going to quench your palate. Not to say that because I like it, you'll like it because everyone's got a different palate.
Definitely.
But I've been told I'm a pretty good trader, so I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
I hear nothing about great things. So If you need some beers, I know you Colin got you. If not, I'll go get you something.
I'm sure you guys.
I don't mind driving to Houston either. I love Houston. So
Okay,
if you need
no,
something from Houston, let me know.
It's all good. It's all good.
But no, that's awesome. So what made you get into like beer trading or just craft beer in general? I don't know much about that side of you.
Yeah, no. So because I'm older, I won't say how old I am.
About 5 years older than me.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go with that. My first take on craft beer was back when Sam Adams came onto the market, which was mid to late 80s for me when I first turned 21, because that's when I legally drank.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So, so Sam Adams was my gateway into the craft beer community, and of course, you're a young adult, you can't always get the good stuff. So you have to wait till you have the better job, putting more money in your pocket.
Yeah.
But so I always had an affinity for craft beer, but it really didn't kick off until about 2012, 2011 for me in the New England area, because that's when it really started to pop.
It popped right after I left. So I left.
Yeah.
I left New York, 2011, 2012.
Yeah, that's it popped. Right, that's about when it started to pop up in New England.
Yeah, so I kind of missed out on all the good stuff.
Yeah, you left at the wrong time.
Yeah, so I'm kind of upset about that. But I was still at the time was into craft beer. I didn't get into craft beer until I was actually out here and met my friends who were into it. You know, and that's only recent. I think I've been in craft beer for like learning about it for maybe a year and a half now.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how long craft beer scene's been going on here, but the craft beer scene's been going on a long time in New England, but it's been very micro. So now you have, I think there's 170 breweries in Massachusetts now. That's just Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's a lot.
The Vermont brewery scene is off the hook. Maine, especially Southern Maine's brewery scene's off the hook. Connecticut's got like 100. Rhode Island.
Can I get 100 breweries?
Yeah, Connecticut's got 100 breweries.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and Rhode Island, for a tiny little state, I think it's got like 40 or 50.
Rhode Island's not the same. It's the same size as Dallas. Maybe even smaller.
It's amazing, the beer scene right now in New England. It's just, I could, in a 2-hour drive in any direction, I could probably get to about 300, 400 breweries. It's crazy.
That's insane.
It's absolutely crazy.
Well, we had a really deep conversation about the quote-unquote beer bubble.
Yep.
And I brought that conversation to another local brewery. Podcast dropped up before this one called Noble Raid, and they filed for bankruptcy.
I heard about some of that, yeah.
So they, because of their file for bankruptcy, caused a lot of commotion in the craft beer.
Made people wake up.
Wake up, and not just wake up, but also dictate like what's the best way to attack this market. Like what's the best way you should do it. But with that, calls about what people like and don't like, and do you want to be hyper local or national, you know?
Yep.
And it becomes a really interesting conversation. I find it really interesting.
It's a valid conversation. Extremely
Because
valid.
everybody has really good points. And no one's mad about any other one. It's just really good points. But I like the market that we talked about, the European market. Being super hyper local to my block has a pub.
Yeah, I've never been to Europe, but my friends that have, you basically have neighborhood breweries, but they're small. You walk into a pub and they make their own beer. That person is good at that style.
Yeah.
You go to the next neighborhood or the next block down the street or next city over, and there's a couple people make that beer really good. So I think the turning point, especially up in New England, I didn't see that here quite yet.
Yeah.
But I've only checked out a few breweries. Up in New England, it's hazy IPAs.
That's the big trend right now everywhere.
It's a big trend. And don't get me wrong, I love the hazy IPAs, but trust me, I would love to have a nice kick-ass Saison, Bière de Garde, which is basically a French Saison.
Yeah.
It's a nice Kolsch with that malty note in the back. Those styles need to come forward more. The consumer can start asking for it, but the breweries can start offering it. But right now they're catering to what sells, and I know that's tough for a brewery to put something up that's not going to sell. But until there is a homogeneous growth towards other styles and other flavors, you might see a bubble a lot sooner, and that bubble will be when everyone's finally sick of hazy IPAs, and that's all everyone's making.
That would be different. See, I think for me, I would call that like the hazy IPA bubble. Like the West Coast style bubble popped a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like a year or two ago, that popped, where everybody was done with the super dry hop.
Even that, though. So, of course, New England's very known for the New England style, which is the unfiltered, the cloudy, hazy IPA. Great, I'll drink that. They're beautiful beers. But every now and then when I go into my beer fridge, I would love just nice clear, even West Coast style clear. not the hazy stuff, because I like variety in my beers. I don't like to drink the same thing, the same style. That goes for lagers, that goes for Kolsch's, that goes for pilsners, and I think once you start seeing those styles flooding back, and I think that's where it's going to head. Again, it's consumer driven, but it's also brewery driven. What are the breweries willing to make versus what are the consumers willing to buy? Once that starts happening, I think that'll smooth out that bubble a little bit.
I think it's going to happen soon. 'Cause lucky for me, I've been blessed to meet a lot of brewers, and I had a chance to really talk to them. So a lot of brewers from Celestial, Petty Colas, Noble Ray, all of them. They all, for the most part, drink. They tend to lean, like when they're hanging out at their job, drink Kolsch's.
Yeah.
So I think the Kolsch is going to come back. Pilsner's going to come back.
Pedicolis has an awesome Kolsch. I had their Kolsch. That was probably one of the best Kolsch's I've had ever.
If I ever find you, it's Necessary Evil, my hand project. I think my favorite Kolsch of all time. Like they're both equally good.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong either one.
No, if it's anything close like the Pedicolis one, I would agree with you.
Correction. I said Kolsch. And once I said that, I was thinking about somebody else. The Necessary Evil is a Pilsner.
Okay, well, Pilsner's a little lighter, a little more clear.
It's a lot lighter. It's not a little lighter.
Yeah.
It's probably the lightest beer you can make. But I was thinking about another beer that we talked about them they haven't released. So
that's fine.
Let's scratch that part
out.
No,
that's okay. That's okay. But the Kolsch style is, if it's done right, and I really think Pedicolis nailed it, that's a nice beer. Now, again, I like variety. Am I going to drink Kolsch all day? No. There's a certain time, like a Kolsch is nice if it's nice and warm out, because it's not too heavy. If you like that maltiness on that backside, you're going to go to that. Some people don't like the malt. Some people don't like the hops. Some people don't. Everyone's got a different palate.
Definitely.
So I'm never going to subject anybody to their palate.
No, this is why I have a problem on tap, which I'm not going to rant
right now.
I mean, I can if you want to hear my stupid opinion about it, but for the most part, I appreciate people who like variety. I also come to the point where I kind of want variety a little bit, but I'm a big stout guy. My fridge full of stouts. Mini fridge, big fridge.
Are you the guy with the cellar that's got 100 bottles? You don't know which one to drink?
I wish I was there yet. I'm up to 50. I'm up to 50 down cellar.
I can't do it. I put it in my cellar, and I'm like, oh, I'll drink that. Next day, I'll drink that one. Before you know, they're all gone. I can't sell beers. I'm too busy drinking.
Well, lucky for me, my current manager, found out that I like beer and I like stouts, and he likes stouts. So him and his team, he does ultra marathons.
Yep.
Came out and gave me a bunch of their stuff.
They hooked you up?
Yeah, with a bunch of like 100 beers.
See, now if I have that kind of a friend, then I might be able to sell us some beers. It might take me a while to get through the inventory.
That's where I'm at right now. So I did a few podcasts just dedicated to drinking the stuff I had in my they cellar that I'm selling right now. That's kind of how my cellar started.
Again, stouts, porters, hazy IPAs, sours. They're all great beers. I'm not a big fan of the milkshake beers.
Well, they're a hit. See, I feel you. I don't know where you're going to go with that, but they're a hit and miss.
Yeah, they're definitely hit and miss, because any beer that's got just too sweet for me, and I'll say this on record, I love Treehouse. Treehouse is an amazing brewery. Their flagship beer called Julius, it's just too sweet for me. It's a good beer. It's luscious. It's just resinous. It just fits well in your palate. But I have one of those, and it's like, man, I can't go back to that right away. I'd rather drink something else to offset the taste.
I like sweet beers, but I don't like the lactic crystals they use for their milkshake IPAs. For some reason, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. They really sharp taste.
It all depends on how much lactose they use. I don't know if there's a variety of different lactose.
I don't know either.
Lactose is just a milk sugar, so I can't see it being too many different varieties of it, but
maybe a few, but I don't know. But it just for some reason, like you mentioned, we were talking about the hops earlier. There's one that really hits your palate wrong.
Yeah.
The lactate crystals or sugars they use, it really bothers my senses.
Yep.
And so I also have a problem with really dry. Anything that bothers the blend of the beer, it bothers me. Something that's too dry that erupts the whole style.
Yep.
Like the West Coast super dry IPAs is not.
You know your palate. That's your palate. So I'm like, give or take on the lactose beers. I've had a few I really liked. I've had a few I just can't do it. So,
what about the trend about the super dry champagne style beer?
Next, I don't know.
Who does it well? I don't know.
I'm not. So I don't. like if in a champagne or even a wine, if it's dry, for me, dry typically is it's on the dry on the palate. Kind of gives you that like dusty feeling in the back of your tongue.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah, I heard that.
I just not my thing, not my thing. And I've had a couple brutes that give you that dusty kind of dry in the back of your tongue. Okay, but it's it's another style, great, added to the portfolio. But again, I'm hoping I kind of hope we rather than reinvent it, I hope we go back to some of the old school stuff.
I will, yeah, it will. I think you made a good point earlier about just bring back the classics back a little to the forefront.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Keep your eyes, keep your hazy IPAs. Doesn't need to be 7 of them. Maybe 2 or 3. Maybe even 2. If you fill a couple gaps with some nice European styles, or maybe a couple sours. Got nice porter, nice stout.
That's why I really appreciate Oak Cliff Brewing. Oak Cliff Brewing, they do a little bit of variety. Have a solid a somber stout with cocoa nibs, really good. They have a really good lager. They have a Hefeweizen beer, a wheat beer, black lager.
Oh, that's nice. I like black lagers.
In my opinion, I haven't had a lot of black lagers. The few I've had, they're my favorite. But again, my palate style for black lagers is very limited. But they're my favorite for black lager. But they have when you go look at their tap menu, they have variety. And what they have been doing with their menu, they also blend certain beers that make that go well together.
See, blending. I love the fact that breweries taking a chance at doing some blending, because guess what the wine industry's been doing for years?
Blending their shit. Yeah.
So, and then there's actually a group, I don't know if they're here in Texas. I know there's a group in Connecticut. There's a couple groups on Instagram. They'll actually blend beers, different style beers, and then drink it. And I actually did that with a beer that Sam, Come Get Some Beer, sent me, and a beer back home. I think it was, I can't remember what the style was. It was a Pilsner, and I believe it was something from Martin House. Is that correct?
Yeah, good. Yeah, Martin House.
Yeah, Martin House. He said, I forget what the style was, but it was probably more on the milkshake side, if I had to correct me, more on the sweet side.
Okay.
So I did that with I believe it was Treehouse Pilsner, which is, I think, Trail Magic. And I blended those two together. I mean, talk about offsetting, right?
Yeah.
And the Pilsner tamed the whatever it was I had for the Martin House, and enhanced the Pilsner flavor.
That's what I love about that's why I like Oak Cliff a lot, because I never heard about a brewery physically blending the beers until I went to Oak Cliff. Yeah. And I'm like, it gives you a whole new range of beer without you making new beer.
Right. No, I think it's a good thing. Can everything be blended? Probably not.
Probably not, but you don't know until you try it.
Yeah, I like the fact that people try it. Yes, I will agree with that.
Yeah.
So that's just to add another flavor onto the top. So.
No, I like that a lot. So I'm trying to think now, what would be a great blend combination? I would think like a good sour with a good, because I'm not a big fan of sours.
Yeah.
And I like New England style beers, and I think mixing the two might work.
So I'm thinking a sour, like I said, I used the Pilsner. The Pilsner's light, so that it's really not going to make too much of a muddled middle or coagulate, kind of weirdly.
Yeah.
So you might want to try that. I've always tried to think about a stout. How would you blend a stout? Do you blend a stout with a porter? Do you blend a stout with something just completely different? See what you get. That I think might be very muddled. You might not get.
You might throw away a few beers.
I think you might throw away a lot of beer.
You might do a little few, but when you said that, I think my friend's a home brewer, Jacob. He makes a mango smash Kolsch.
Yeah, single malt, single hop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kolsch, and it's a really good mango Kolsch. And I was thinking maybe with a sour mixed with that Kolsch might be
Actually,
great.
that mango Kolsch actually sounds pretty awesome by itself.
It is awesome. It's called Victor's Chanclas. They make fun of me because I tell men should never wear flip-flops.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, men should never wear shorts. Men should never wear
flip-flops.
Especially when you leave the house.
Yeah.
So, talk about that. So, you travel a lot.
Occasionally, yeah. No, I wouldn't say a lot, but I get the opportunity to move out.
More than most people from where we're from.
Probably.
Because where we're from, in my opinion, a lot of my family members, friends, and uncles, they travel rarely just to see if they have family in other countries. They go, but that's about it. But they live where we come from. They live in the same spot, the same neighborhood their whole life.
You have family in New York, family in Puerto Rico. Where would they go? They just want to stay there. It's all good. They got everything right where they need it.
That's it. And that's what I find a lot for us in our area that we grew up in. Like people just stay there because we have everything. But I've traveled more. I wouldn't say a lot either, but I've traveled more than my family and friends from back home. And I say, I from our stories that you traveled a little bit too.
Yeah. So for me, it's life is short. Enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Make the biggest positive dent you can in it. Meet people like yourself, like the people at the bottle share. Again, I just wanted to go drink beer with people. Social media is awesome.
Definitely.
I really think social media isn't about hiding behind a phone or a desktop screen typing stuff. I really think at some point you need to graduate and meet people. It's still about shaking somebody's hand, having a personal conversation with you, because you're not going to engage on those levels through social media, through a chat, through a DM. Yeah, you can share a lot of stuff, but for me, I guess I'm older, the true personal connection is actually meeting somebody, talking to somebody. If it wasn't for social media and beer, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
No, 1,000%.
Right?
It wouldn't be for me either. Like I wouldn't, for doing this podcast, I wouldn't meet half the amazing people I have met.
Right.
You
I
know?
love the beer community. The beer community, we talked about this earlier, and I think I've heard other people say it, 99% dick free. You know, it's mostly everyone understands community in the beer in the beer world. It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
And that's why I like it more. I for a while I worked at a country club and I was involved with wine snobs.
Yep.
I wouldn't say they were representing the wine community, but wine snobs who appreciate wine.
Yeah.
Now on that aspect of it, I hate that part of the wine place, and also whiskey snob, Scotch snob, like anything that becomes hyper sensitive about how you should drink.
Right.
It's a pain in the ass. Mostly beer people for the most part. As long as you like it, do you?
Nope. I mean, I'm sure you have friends like I do. Oh, I can't do an IPA. Okay. Well, what do you like? Stouts. All right.
Yeah.
I really like the milkshakes. That's the beautiful thing about a palate. Everyone's different. It's like a thumbprint, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
No, and I what made me love the beer industry, especially in DFW, because I started here, was I tell people this is what kind of mixed drink I like. And then I kind of like Guinness and style that I do experience from occasion.
Yep.
Okay, let's map this out. And over the year and a half I've been doing this really in-depth beer stuff, people are like, okay, cool, you like this, you don't like this, you like this, let's help you figure out your palate.
Yeah, or
and teach you about beer.
Yeah, teach about beer. Education is important, even from a drinking perspective. A guy like you and myself, I do some brewing. I've done brew days with a lot of brewers already, and I'm hopefully going to do more brewing this year. But I always say, tease your palate. I was at a local tasting back in New England, back in Massachusetts, and a friend of mine was there, and we were kind of chatting back and forth, walking through the tasting. And he says, I go, why aren't you trying? He goes, oh, I don't want to try that. I go, you're at a tasting. This is the perfect time to try that, because you're going to sip it, put it back down, and go, nope, I really don't like it. This is where you get a chance to expand your palate. You might even try something, might be a style, but might be a off flavor of that style that might go, you know what, I really like that. That might make my gateway to brown ales, right?
I wish I'd known you a few years ago, because that was my problem for years. I was your friend.
Just try it.
So for me, I have my routine. I like my routine, and I like variants of my routine.
Mm-hmm.
I do this. I have no problem eating the same food every day. I have no problem doing the same thing every day. And no, that sounds boring in life.
You're low maintenance, Victor.
It's very low maintenance, but I like what I like.
To that.
Salud. But it's not to do this podcast where people they allow me to be low maintenance of what I like to drink.
Yeah.
But they also what about this? Mm-hmm. You will try it.
Try it.
That's what they were like. Everybody was like, "Were you willing to try it?" And then for me being willing to try things, because I really appreciate people's passion in what they do.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna disrespect and say fuck no. Let me try it, even though I know I might not like it.
Yeah.
And then you know what? Slowly, I went from fuck all IPAs to, I like the New England style IPA.
Yeah.
I like juicy IPAs. I like a little bit of the milkshakes, a hit and miss, but I like something that's a well-balanced beer. From there, I went to different styles of sours, and I realized it's not that I don't like sours, I don't like IPAs, I like well-balanced beer. That the profile works together from start to finish.
Yep. No,
it's all from people telling me, try it, like your friend, just try it, you won't know.
So, I was never big on brown ales, but I found a couple brown ales I really, really could get into. So it's kind of opened up my palate to different types of styles of brown ales. There are some that I think are a little chalky, kind of like a porter. And I found out now I just don't like that chalky, the kind of chalky version of those.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you try it, but that still you're expanding your palate, and that's what's beautiful about the beer community. It's just different styles of beers. Just try it.
And even from the bartenders to the sales reps, everybody's encouraging, like, cool, you don't like it? What about this style?
Yep.
What do you like?
Yep.
Let me try to figure out what you
Exactly.
like. You know?
Exactly.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yep. Your palate will accept quite a different flavors, so it's up to you to figure out how wide you want to go with that.
Fair enough. But I brought up the traveling to the part is because I want to ask you, what city have you been to you think have the better beer community?
At least it's like naming your favorite child, right?
It's easy. You don't say it to the world, but you have it in your head.
Let's see. Of course, I'm obviously very hypersensitive to the New England area because that's where I grew up. But if I remove that, just that, obviously Treehouse Trillium, just kind of remove that for the moment. I would say Portland, Maine, Bissell Brothers, Allagash, they're kicking it pretty hard. Let's see, up in Vermont, you got...
Vermont got good beer.
Vermont got great beer.
Okay.
Foam. If you haven't had Foam yet, am I looking right here?
Yeah, right here.
Foam, Burlington, Vermont. Awesome beer.
I haven't had it yet.
Awesome beer. Oh my God. They're small, but they're growing. Just fabulous beer. Fiddlehead, another small growing brewery up in Vermont. Really kicking it. Let's see, Connecticut. New England Brewing's doing a pretty good job, even though they're a contract brewer, but they have their own flavors that they produce.
Okay.
They're doing really good. I'm sure I'm going to miss. Oh, New Park. New Park right here.
You wearing a shirt?
Wearing a shirt.
New Park.
West Hartford, right on the West Hartford line. They kill it with flavors, and they've only been open for a couple of years. I'm sure there's plenty other breweries in Connecticut. I just can't think of them right now.
Well, there's so many. You can't unless you're a savant and naming everybody. You can't name everybody.
Yeah, Other Half really does well. Actually, it was down in Brooklyn. Really enjoyed a brewery called Threes.
Okay.
So that was on east side of Brooklyn. That beer was phenomenal. They had an Imperial Stout that I just fell in love with. Down here in Dallas, I would say Celestial.
Fucking good, man.
Celestial.
Good. They've been open like 8 months, 6 months, and they're good.
They're killing it. I try to read and I try to get scope what's going on, and Celestial, and the place is really nice too.
Well,
walk in.
I found out recently. I think it was the wife or the part owner. The wife, she do all the artwork herself. All the artwork herself and drew it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it's tiny. Small batch brewing. They seem very passionate when I walked in there.
Really passionate.
Yeah, they're like any other brewer should be. They're really good to the customers. I gave them some stickers, and they gave me a couple back. Jester King down in Austin did the same thing. Here's a guy from Massachusetts with a funny accent walking in. Hey, here's a sticker.
Is that your accent? I think you had to stretch the sticker part out. You had to stretch it.
Here's a sticker.
I don't hate, like, people say I don't have a New York accent anymore.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of both. My Boston accent is very muted. If I really start drinking, it'll come out.
When I get drunk, I start talking back like I'm back home. Or if I go to New York for a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
If I go to New York for a weekend, it's back for a couple of days.
Or if I'm in the hockey locker room with the boys after 3 or 4,
You played hockey growing up?
Oh, yeah.
I played hockey one time in my life.
I've been playing since I've been 6.
No, I played one time in my life. I was 12 years old. It's like, I always want to play hockey because the Mighty Ducks. Always want to play hockey. Then I got tackled, I got hit, and then I fell on the ice.
That was it?
And it was so much pain. It was so much pain. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm out of here.
So Celestial I thought was killing it. Jester King, I just love the property. I love the beers
they have a massive property, man.
They have a massive property. It's a beautiful property. That's a perfect place. You just go, get a couple drinks, hang out. That's like 3-4 hours, just chill, love life. That's just kind of what it felt like to me. Really loving the beer. The product they make is fabulous. I've had a few of them, courtesy of a few friends down here in Dallas, Austin area. So, California, Russian River, can't go too wrong with that.
Oh, you talk about Massachusetts. What about clown shoes?
I'm sorry?
Clown shoes.
Clown shoes, they're okay.
I like their stouts a lot.
They make there's a couple products I really like by them. They're a contract brewer, or maybe they outsource contract brew their product. I can't remember, but I would say on a scale of popularity in Massachusetts or in New England, I don't think they're quite at the top yet, but they do have a couple styles that are really, really good.
I think as far as all the styles that I've tried them so far that I can't get here, their styles are way better than their other.
They have a couple rockin' stouts that I can't even get because it's so limited supply.
Yeah.
But if you...
Like, I'm not a big fan of the double IPA.
Yeah.
That cake, they was okay.
No, they're just okay. I would agree with you. Their stouts are pretty rocking. Just, if you see something really being released, Victor, text me, DM me, say, hey, can you get me some clown shoes? You'll have a box coming your way.
The same way. If I got to go down to Houston and get it, I'll get it.
Absolutely. That's how the beer community should work.
No, and I'm going to start be a part of it like that. Right now, I'm just being hyper local and trying to help.
That's fine.
But I want to. Those clown shoes I like a lot. We had a chance to talk to their off the air. We got a chance to the artist who does their artwork.
No, their artwork on the can. Yeah, that's some killer artwork they have.
They definitely. It's 100% what makes it eye catching.
Yeah.
But I just wish they did other styles better. I really, really love their stouts series.
Yeah, no, their stouts are probably their best that they got. Yeah, I always tell anybody if somebody wants to trade with me, find something specific that you're looking for. That's perfect because I can get clown shoes fairly easily. I think they're up in Ipswich, or isn't too far from me, and they distro in the obviously Massachusetts area too. So.
Yeah. No, what happened for me was now I can't remember why I brought it up. I brought it up for a reason. Now I just fucking had a brain fart.
Because you like stouts, Victor.
I had a brain fart.
You like stouts. You're a stout whore.
I am a stout. I got a fridge. I got 2 fridges full of stouts. I just had a brain fart why I brought them up. But anyway, I'm trying to move forward from that because this fucking brain fart is killing me.
Because they're from Massachusetts, probably.
Well, I already brought up those other things is like traveling is trying to see like where should I go, because my thing, in my opinion, I think the Dallas beer community is the best as far as the beer bloggers, the beer brewers, sales rep. That they're so interconnected to each other because we're so young in this industry that everybody still works together tremendously well, and I like that a lot. So I want to know where should I go next.
Well, as far as where to go, I mean, you want to go where the cool kids all hang out, so you can try all the cool kid flavors.
East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from New England. I think during the summertime months or warmer months, no one wants to go to New England unless you're a skier.
No, listen, I tell people all the time, I'm from New York City, my birthday's in the winter, I grew up in the winter, fuck the winter.
So if you're not a fan of cold and snow, don't go to New England in winter anytime before March. April and afterwards, and sometimes April might be sketchy, but I see on Instagram at least once a week people doing a beercation in New England. So they'll come to fly into Boston or Hartford, and they'll just go up 91 to Vermont, through New Hampshire. New Hampshire beer scene's starting to come up a little bit more. I think they're the last of the New England states to really kick it. And go over to Maine, go down to Massachusetts through Boston, hit Rhode Island, slide over to Connecticut, and fly back home for like 7 days.
That's intense. I want to start doing something, maybe not 7 days, but I just don't want to do the beers. What I want to see is the people. I want to meet the people, the brewers, the community.
So it's for me, I think it's hit or miss depending where you go. There's definitely a community. I mean, I'm part of that New England beer community. You just, like I did with you guys, throw it out there, see who's around. That's pretty much all I do when I go to different cities. When I went to California.
That's what I was thinking.
I went to Southern Cal a couple of years ago, and I met up with Malter Wisnowski.
Okay. That's an intense name. That's an intense name.
That's his name, Malter. He was super cool. I met Breeze from...
Drew Breeze?
Huh?
Drew Breeze?
Yeah. No, not Drew Breeze. I wish. No, she's an assistant brewer at the Southern Cal brewery. I'm drawing a blank on the name right now. It'll come to me. But we actually, a bunch of us met at that brewery in Southern Cal. Pancho the Mex.
Okay.
Pancho the Mex came down, and he's all the way up.
That's also a fucking phenomenal name.
Yeah.
Pancho the Mex?
Pancho the Mex.
Okay.
Francisco.
That's even a better name. Yeah. That's a full name right there. Okay.
That's his name. Francisco. He was way cool. So, I mean, everywhere I go, I'm always going to reach out ahead of time and say, hey, I'm coming to your area. I did that for even when I was down in Austin. A couple people got out to me. Unfortunately, not everyone remembers, and they don't always get back to you, and that's fine. I don't push that button.
I don't push that button either. But here's the thing: from man to man, from word to word. Here's the deal about life. Like you reach out to me, we want to do a podcast another time.
Yeah.
You reach out to me, it's like, hey, running late. Can we switch it? That's no problem.
Yep.
Better than never texting me.
No, I would never do that.
But because you're a man and you're willing to respect, like, oh, listen, I said something I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to do
Absolutely.
it. Let me say something.
Absolutely.
Versus ignoring it.
No.
Don't ignore it. And I feel like, in my opinion, a lot of people, my generation, because I'm only 30.
Yep.
My generation and younger definitely have the problem with saying something and not following up and not wanting to admit. They just come up with an excuse.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, man, I forgot, or this is the reason why I forgot.
Yeah, and you know what? You're probably hitting that nail on the head, but I'm not overly judgmental when it comes to that. The way I look at it is, if you want to meet, I threw it out there. If you want to meet me, you make the time. If you don't make the time, whether you forget, whether you don't want to, whether you want to say anything, then I won't.
No, I definitely don't want to say people get mad about it. Don't get mad because that's a waste of your energy.
Waste of time.
But what I would say is now you know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Now you know, and you keep a mental note.
Right.
Okay, this person may not be 100%.
Yeah, and that's fine. Whatever. You don't know people's struggles, right?
No, you don't know people's struggles.
So everyone's got their own battle. Whatever the reason.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Let's say we supposed to meet up, and I got to an accident. I text you after my accident. Hey man, I know we had a podcast. We had to meet at 5. But I got to an accident.
Yeah.
This is the situation I'm in now. That's fine. I'm not saying to get mad at the person, but not me.
No,
because I'm not the king prince of the world.
Yeah.
I'm not king prince of the fucking world.
Yeah,
but,
you let it slide. I'm
not mad, but at the end of the day is like, if you never text me, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm never not gonna talk to you because you didn't personally hurt me.
No.
But now I know when we make plans, I'm gonna tentatively know.
Yeah.
He's not honest about the plans he makes.
Right. No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so I threw it out there. We kind of pseudo plans.
That's a good word, pseudo plans.
Yeah.
This is the thing. So when you forget, like for me, I tell people all the time.
Yep.
I make plans with you. Oh shit, you're in town.
Yep.
I'll let you know. Yep. Listen, I made 5 plans a day. I'm only going to do 2. Either I'm gonna be there early or I'm gonna be there late.
Right.
So I'm gonna let you know.
No,
this is where I'm at though.
I mean, if you don't want to show, you forget, whatever. I'm gonna go do my thing, whether you're there or not.
Yeah.
Like the couple people I reached out to Austin. I think they were both girls. Or one was girl, one was guy. Whatever. But I pinged them. They come back to me, when you coming in. I told them the date. I said, reach out to me if you're interested. I said, I've already given you the information, so I'm not going to chase. I don't chase people.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, you'll reply back to me and say, hey, let's meet here. Like Justin King would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But maybe their schedule didn't allow. Maybe they forgot. It's all good. Next time in town, whatever.
Now you know it's tentative. Like,
Yeah.
Now you know. But that's what I mean. I don't mean when I harp about it. I don't mean to get mad and like attack anybody.
Life's too short.
There's no time for that.
Life's too short.
There's too much energy on your own part.
Yeah.
Like, you know how much.
I was really hoping to meet bearded beer lady.
The bearded lady.
Yeah, bearded lady. She, because I've been following her for a while, and I know she's down here in Dallas.
She lives in Denton.
Denton? Okay.
She's where the guy lives?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's always at Peticolas.
She used to. So his bearded lady's I wouldn't say like a close friend, but I know her.
Okay.
So she used to live out here. That was her husband. Good couple.
Yep.
Then he moved to Denton for his job.
Yep.
It made it easy for him.
Yeah.
So she did that with him, and then she still stays up there. Now she makes time to make it down here for certain things, but not as like she used to when she was living down here.
I got it. Yeah, I think she was actually away the weekend that
She was in
Atlanta.
Yeah.
She was in Atlanta.
I want to say it's like she was somewhere in the South.
Yeah. So, but I got to meet. No disrespect to bearded beer lady. I got to meet Sam again. I love Sam. Sam's awesome.
Nobody was disrespecting her.
No.
It's just that it is what it is.
No,
she's an hour away and then she's traveling.
No, I didn't know that. I thought she was in Dallas. So.
She used to be. That's why I want to bring it up. She's not here anymore.
No, it's all good. But I finally got to meet everyone else that was on that chat that we had going on. So
what's up? You out of here?
Yes, sir.
Already?
You got the kids at home, man.
Nice to meet you.
That's on a video. Edit that out.
We got proof. Nice to meet you. Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
So, but that was cool. I got to meet everyone else. Got to meet you. Got to meet Dina. Got to meet Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Mike's son. I forget
his son name too. That was the first time I met Mike's son too.
Mike was cool. Everyone was cool.
The whole community is cool. Even the Beetle Lady is cool. Like I said, that's why only reason I brought up where she lives at, like in the city she lives in now. Just that's why she's not in depth in the Dallas community. Not because she's nitpicking who she wants to go to. She just doesn't live here anymore.
And she said she was away that weekend anyway.
Yeah.
She made that up front. That was cool. Like I said, I just wanted to meet. I didn't want to turn into a bottle share, money raising thing. I just wanted to meet some beer people.
Well, that's well, first of all, this is the South. People always want to do some charity things. Even not that people like New Yorkers or Boston people don't do charity things. Every chance people get out here in the South, they want to make it a charity event.
All good.
But it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. And I do appreciate that energy people put out here.
It was nice. It was a nice little surprise, so I'll take that all day long.
And I had some good beers, man. There was a lot of. I said some. There was a lot of good beers. I think it's only one or two beers. I was like, that was weak.
There was like one or two. It was like, okay, solid beer. But I'm gonna chase after some of these other ones.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
I was really thinking about you when we left because I went to Oak Cliff Brewing. I know the head brewer there, and they're like really good people. So I wanted to support the new beer coming out.
Yeah.
So I made I did the bottle share with you guys, and I left to go toward their release. But in their release, they had like a mini bottle share at their release too. The company called The Brewery. They
out in California.
Yeah. They released a wine beer blend.
Yes, I heard about it.
That shit was insanely delicious.
I heard about it.
And they had it there. They had 2 bottles.
Yep.
And I was like, I thought about you. I was like, this is where you need to be. This beer is fucking delicious. We had everybody, and like other brewers that were there supporting. Everybody was chasing after that beer. That beer was insanely good. So I'm hoping some of the brewers who were there, who tasted it, come up with something similar. But that was good.
Yeah, Trillium does a couple beer flavors like that, beer styles like that. They do a little blending, and I think I might have had one of them, but my friends talk about it. Go, this shit's off the hook. So
that wine beer blend. I'm not a big wine fan, but that combination.
A blend, it's all
that what you would drink, man.
Hey, if you can make good beer out of combining a couple ingredients together after the fact, I'll try it. I'll try it.
Man.
It's all good.
That was insanely good. I think it was also like 15%. It was good.
That's a sipper.
No, you could chug that. You could chug it.
You could. And you're gonna feel it.
You're gonna feel it.
You're not driving.
You shouldn't.
No,
you shouldn't. Now in the show, we always talk about you take a lift, and that's how we always talk about it. You take a lift.
Yes, take a lift, take Uber.
There's no reason in this world anymore to
give your friend the keys.
Even with your friends, there's no reason for you guys with the access to social media, like we said, and these applications.
Chill out. Give yourself a half an hour. Drink some water. Just shut it off.
Even if you want to drink, you want to drink drunk. Like drink until you want to no longer feel how you're feeling. I don't approve of it, and I want to say people to do that, but there's no way anymore in this day and age that you shouldn't be able to take ride home. Like in Northeast, we have a lot of good cab service up north, but even outside of cabs, Uber, Lyft,
they're your best friend when it comes to this stuff. So,
however you feel, so we don't drink.
You might be a little struggling in the hills and mountains of Vermont with a Lyft or an Uber, but you chill out, drink some water.
They always had cab service, but it's so much easier to get cab service. I remember when I was a kid, they call it cab after 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, talking about drinking illegally, I was 18 years old at the clubs drinking. Now, to get a cab in Manhattan to go to Brooklyn or Queens,
it's
3 or 4 in the morning.
That's a stretch.
Cabs ain't going to Queens and Brooklyn.
That's a stretch.
So,
that's a stretch.
Because they know where to track who you are and what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's just so much easier.
And it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
And mostly for us, it was 4 in the morning. That's when our clubs at New York closes. So
I don't think New York closes at all. There's always something going on in that city.
They technically don't close, but they do close for businesses.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but they technically don't close. But it's no way to. I got to do DWI, but there's no way we should have it now.
No, there is. You make good decisions.
Definitely. Talking about making good decisions. So we talked about this earlier multiple times. We had the bottle share. And it was like a charity event.
Yep.
So we had a chance to talk about that at the bottle share. It's a phenomenal charity event, and I want to support that. Yep. And I want to make this whole clip about this next few minutes about this charity event. So it's a family friend that.
Yeah. So I ride in this event called the Pan Mass Challenge. It's a bike ride from across Massachusetts, more central Massachusetts to the Cape, end of Cape Cod, Provincetown. It's 180 miles, I believe. 100.
That's a lot.
Yeah, 180 miles. I think it's one leg is 180, the other one's 170 or something like that. You get two destinations you can start from. But the whole idea behind it is you raise money. The money goes into the Pan Mass Fund. You can steer that money to a certain other fund. They give you full freedom to do that. So my money goes to the Pan Mass Fund, which is Dana-Farber. And all that money, if I don't have a channel, gets used wherever it needs to get used, 100%. All the interest, all the fees, all that stuff to pay for my travel back to where I started, that's all on me. And that's all stuff that's almost like $500 by itself that I would love to put towards a fund, but that's how they stay completely 100%, is that they don't charge you for those fees and put it into your fund. They charge you, you pay it out of pocket. So I pay for that out of pocket, and if I sign up for a 2-day ride, this year it's $5,000. I have to raise $5,000. If I don't raise $5,000, it comes out of my bank account, regardless. So it's guaranteed money for the Pan Mass Challenge.
Oh wow!
Guaranteed. So last year was the first year I've always wanted to do it. So my good friend of mine that I've known for probably about 5 or 6 years. Through some of the engineering work I do, got me into it a couple years ago, had me sign a piece of paper at a Red Sox game that we went to. His daughter has actually a suite at Fenway. It's called the Erica Leafcliff Suite, and it's actually pretty amazing. You walk in there and you see all her artwork she did and a couple pictures of her, and I'm actually impressed that Fenway still has the suite. They continuously do it. I'm sure there's some stuff going on behind the scene that we don't know about that makes that happen, but
yeah,
the fact that I get that opportunity to watch a baseball game in her suite with her dad and her mother, which is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal thing. But so Erica was diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 3. She survived for 10 years, and then finally the treatments and leukemia wear down her immune system. She actually caught a cold, and she died from a cold. That's the kind of things that people think about. It's really not the disease you die from. The disease deteriorates your immune system, and you die usually from something else.
Things that we would resist.
Exactly. So anyway, so go back to her father, who I met, befriended about 4 or 5 years ago. 2 years ago, we were talking about it, and I said I need to get a bike. He says, "Well, you got a mountain bike now?" I said, "Yeah, I switched to mountain biking years ago."
Okay.
I said, "I'm not riding a mountain bike 160 miles, 180 miles. I'm not doing it." He goes, "Okay." Like a month or two later goes by, he sends me his Craigslist ad. It's for a road bike, and I go, "Okay, let's go take a look." I took him with me, took a look at it, bought it. Here we go. I'm on this is a couple years ago, 2018, early 2018. I said, I guess I'm doing this. I sign up. There's my credit card info for my bank account. So I'm hooked. I'm in it. So I did fundraising throughout the year by giving away beer. Well, going to beer shares or breweries and just buying awesome beer so I could put it on Instagram and then tell the people, okay, go make a donation.
Yeah.
Like the last one I just did for this year, I had a pretty stellar lineup of beers. $25 gets you an opportunity. 50 gets you to 75, 100, so on and so on. I said it's all tax deductible too. You can write that off. You can put that against your taxes.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So last year I raised between some corporate funding I got, along with some the beer community stepping up big, and some family friends of mine that stepped up big for me. I raised $8,300.
Wow.
I was really worried about making sure I came up with that $5,000.
You blew past that $5,000.
So, knowing full well the beer community was probably a majority of that money, I'm hoping I can do that again this year. So I'm doing one every month, just a beer haul for people to donate and hopefully get whatever it is I got up there, and I'll leave the beer names off of it for now so I can make it a surprise. But I did go to Jester King, so I did go to B52. I'll just leave that there. So the last one I did, which was a bunch of beers from Brooklyn, a bunch of beers from Massachusetts, some really good stuff.
Yeah, some beers from Texas now.
Yeah, and I got some Texas. So that one I did last month, I raised $925.
Nice.
So
no, I said, what? That's
$925.
I said nice, and I heard the number, and it's like took a second to realize.
Raised $925, and there were some people in there that helped me, that weren't part of the the whole beer thing, and that's fine. But I'm using it as a total cumulative, because if I can do $1,000 a month, I can hit my target. So anything
past
beyond
that,
so anything past that is gravy. I need to hit that target, but I want to try to eclipse 10 grand.
Well, you could. So for me, my co-host, I'm gonna speak for him right now, and I try not to speak for him on things. You got our support. So every time you post that you're gonna do a charity, guarantee you got 25 from us.
Yeah. Well, just from meeting you guys with the little beer share we did, and some of you guys offering to put some cash in my pocket, I turned that into a donation. I think it was close to $70, somewhere around $70, $80. At least that was in my pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, I took it out, counted it, so I topped it off to 100, and I put in respect to Dallas Beer Club, Dallas Beer Share. So I appreciate that.
No. Like I said, I wanted more of us to be there. That's only. It was a phenomenal sharing because it was all good people there.
Yeah.
Everybody there that from the Dallas beer scene, now I'm fucking stumbling my words. I 100% respect.
Yeah.
As a person, I've had a chance to meet them several times. All good people. I just wish that we had a little bit more time to get the rest of the community involved. It's all good.
I wasn't expecting anything.
No.
I never go into anything thinking somebody's gonna help me with my goals. I'm always willing to champion an effort to get people involved. That was one of them. Everyone there decided to kind of let's help them out, and I was totally respectful to that. That was beyond awesome. So.
I get that sensitive stuff to me now because of Texas. Like I equate that to my mom in Texas. My mom's super sensitive about things.
Yeah, it's all good. It's for a good cause. And if anybody's ever donated anything and it's for a good cause, why not? And I know a lot of people look at some of those cancer fundraising things as, well, somebody's taking the money, somebody's putting it in their pocket, somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that. The only thing I know, and I know this from the actual website and people that have been doing this for years, the money is 100%. How it works is they get this large sum of money that sits in a bank account. They take interest off that money, and that helps set up all the different things that they have for that event. Every dollar that's donated, except for the interest, is driven to the Jimmy Fund or to your own specific fund.
No, 100%. People have a bad taste in their mouth about certain charities, which is fair enough because there's not a lot. I don't want to say a lot.
No, but there's a few out there.
There's some over the years.
Yes.
There's been charity events since the day I was born, since the day we were born. There's charity events that people is taking money from.
Yep.
It happens.
Yep.
So the beautiful thing about technology now is that you can look into it.
Yes.
And if they're not transparent, you don't have to put money to them. If they're transparent how they try to go, then you feel comfortable, put money to that event.
And
it sounds like they're super transparent.
Yep. And I try to make mine as transparent as possible. But the way I look at it is that I'm on the hook for $5,000. So I'm going to do anything I can. If I have to spend $200 worth of beer to try to get $900, that's a win for me. I'll do that all day now. I'll hustle. I'll do the hustle. I'll get the beer. I've got a bunch of stuff waiting for me. It's shipped. Going back.
Post office. That's some of the beers you got.
Going back to the post office as we speak, and some of that will be part of the next one. And then in March I'll do it again, and in April I'll do it again. And I do bottle shares, beer shares in New England, but we can't do them at breweries. We have to do. They're private events usually. And I've got one coming up in April. I have a 5-gallon carboy, and it's got a picture of Erica and some of the Jimmy Fund stuff and the PMC stuff.
Yeah, nice.
Just so people know. And I said, it's not a requirement. If you like to put $1 or $2 in there, feel free. And people show up at the beer share and they drop it. Out of that carboy from the three beer shares I think I did before the event, I think there was close to $300 in that carboy.
Wow.
So, and that's just people showing up at random for beer shares just throwing a couple bucks in there. And again, that all adds up, and that's a beautiful thing. So I took that money, threw it in the account, in reference to this, so people could see it, that, hey, Ed didn't take the money, put it in my pocket. Here's this transparency. It's not for me. I'm just the conduit trying to get the money and do something good with it on the other side.
No, it's phenomenal. I really appreciate it. Like I said, you got our support here 1,000%. And I can speak for Bior Man too, Colin.
Yeah.
You got his support.
Colin's
Awesome. He's phenomenal.
Colin and Sam are awesome. They were my gateway to Dallas.
I met Sam that day at the bottle shop. I haven't met him before that.
Yeah. He's a super nice guy.
Super nice, but everybody there is super nice.
Yeah, everyone.
But Colin's a different kind of social. He made a post recently of me, the picture we took.
Yeah, Regal.
Yeah. But
I had to throw that on there because that was the word that was used when the picture was taken.
So when we took the picture, I thought I looked good when I saw it on the phone, but then you put it on the gram, and then I got people tagging me in there like, why you look so drunk? I'm like, I wasn't drunk though.
You were in the moment. You were in the moment. I thought the picture was awesome. Victor, you're a good-looking guy. I don't think you could take a bad picture, Victor.
No, I appreciate that, but I do take bad pictures all the time. But I do appreciate the funny memes that people sent me directly to our Instagram.
You're loved. If people aren't making fun of you, Victor, you're not loved. If you're loved, if people are making fun of you.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I get my balls busted all the time.
I don't mind it at all. I thought it was. At first, I was like, "Oh, people making fun of me," but then I saw some of the funny things people were doing. I was like, "That's actually really funny."
That means people know they can bust on you. Not going to get offended.
When a 12% actually hits you, that's what it means.
That's it. You got to share that one with me. That's actually pretty awesome. Oh my God, that's actually awesome. Your eyes were a little drifting, but you were far from drunk. I remember talking to you on that day. You were accentuating all your words and vowels.
No, but that was what made me laugh. It was like when a 12% actually hits you. I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
That is funny.
So
you might have to put that up on your Instagram.
I want to. I haven't done it yet. I want to. But no, I really appreciate you taking time. I know you got a flight to take.
Yeah, I do.
Shit, you still have time.
Gotta get
going
going
right now. We have time, but let's wrap this up. But I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for everything you're doing for the beer community in Massachusetts and the impact you put in Dallas as well. Believe it or not, you played a big impact for Bior Man, which he plays a big impact for us here. So it's phenomenal.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, definitely, and I really, really appreciate it. So safe travels, brother.
Thanks, Victor.
I'll be in Massachusetts hopefully within the next year.
If you don't contact me, say, hey, Ed, let's get together.
I got your number.
You do have my number.
I got your number. So no, I got you locked down. But we're gonna be up there. If I'm not up there this year, I'll be up there next year.
Yeah.
You know.
If anybody's coming to Massachusetts or New England, give me a heads up. Throw me a date. If I'm in the area, if I'm not traveling, I'll meet up with you somewhere. So it's all good.
He's the go-to guy in Massachusetts. So on that note, I love you guys. Don't drink and drive. Take a lift. Peace. Have a safe weekend.
Cheers.